Can you imagine if this trial got covered with the same amount of coverage as the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard trial? Now, don't get me wrong, right? The Johnny Depp and Amber Heard trial, I don't give a fuck about mainstream celebrity shit. It has been massively entertaining, right? I will grant it that it has been massively entertaining, right? So I feel like I'm about to do the Jeremy Clarkson meme. So this is nice. But I like this. I would have loved for this trial to be covered like the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard trial. And I guarantee you this one would have done better numbers. I feel that there's a lot involved in this trial that people are very interested in. I'm very interested in it. I'm very interested. There is a lot of information I want to know. I mean, there was an excellent account on Twitter that was actually tracking the entire trial and posting all the updates and things that the public might want to know. But Twitter banned that account. No reason as well. It's weird. It's fucking weird, isn't it? I burp every time there's some bullshit. Ghislaine Maxwell, that's his video demonetised, loses bid to overturn sex trafficking conviction, but has maximum sentence cut by 10 years. Pardon. The 60-year-old British socialite who was convicted of recruiting girls for Jeffrey Epstein to abuse still faces a possible 55-year prison term when she is sentenced in June after losing her latest legal challenge. I mean, she's 60. She's been sentenced to 55 years, so now it's 45. Sorry, it's only 45 years. Only 45 years now. You'll be released when you're 105. Maybe by then we'll get some fucking names. Ghislaine Maxwell has lost a bid to overturn her sex trafficking conviction, paving the way for her to be sentenced to decades in prison. Lawyers for the British socialite had asked a judge to reject the verdict on multiple grounds, including insufficient evidence. Maxwell was convicted in December of recruiting teenage girls for US financier Jeffrey Epstein to sexually abuse from between 1994 to 2004. In a written ruling, New York District Judge Alison Nathan said that the jury's guilty verdicts were readily supported by extensive witness testimony and documentary evidence at the trial. However, the judge said she will only sentence 60-year-old Maxwell on 3 of the 5 counts she was convicted on. The judge said 3 of the charges effectively covered the same offence, so upheld only one of those 3 guilty verdicts. It reduces Maxwell's possible maximum sentence by 10 years to 55 years behind bars, according to Reuters. Judge Nathan wrote, the legal conclusion in no way calls into question the factual findings made by the jury. Rather, it underscores that the jury unanimously found 3 times over that the defendant is guilty of conspiring with Epstein to entice, transport, and traffic underage girls for sexual abuse. Maxwell, the daughter of late newspaper tycoon Robert Maxwell, is due to be sentenced on the 28th of June. He's an interesting fellow. He had a lot of connections. Earlier this month, the judge refused to throw out Maxwell's conviction after a juror disclosed during deliberations that he had been sexually abused as a child. The juror had not revealed that fact during pre-trial screening in response to questions about prior sex abuse posed in a written questionnaire. The judge said he skimmed way too fast through the questionnaire and did not intentionally give the wrong answer. In her ruling, Judge Nathan said the juror's failure to disclose his prior sexual abuse during the selection process was highly unfortunate but not deliberate. The judge also concluded the juror harboured no bias towards the defendant and could serve as a fair and impartial juror. Juror? Yeah, sure. Maxwell, who was arrested in July of 2020, has remained in prison throughout her legal challenges and is still alive. Incredibly. I don't know, I was shocked too. Epstein, a convicted sex offender, was 66 when he took his own life in a jail cell in August of 2019. When he took his own life. As he awaited a sex trafficking trial. Now, right. Epstein was the godfather in the whole thing, right? You know, she was the Pacino, right? No, Epstein was the Pacino. Right. However, Ghislaine was the Fredo, right? In other words, there was very little of Epstein's business that she did not know. She knows the things that happened. She knows the things that were done. She knows how they were arranged, because she arranged them, right? She knows who they were for, right? There are names. She knows things. I know for a fact she knows things. That is why they are not allowing any shit in the trial to get out. Because isn't it amazing how sex trafficking can happen, right? And no one else has gone down. Right now, I just personally don't believe that this little 60-year-old woman was able to, do a sex trafficking ring on her own. It's not my area of expertise, but as a businessman, I can understand how there might be a lot of logistical challenges in such an affair. Right? Which means that to run an operation like that by yourself, personally, I would just think it would not be possible. I think that help must have been had. And also as well, there was employees, there was people that were involved, there absolutely must have been. However, another thing as well is, like any business venture, right, there are customers. If you don't have customers, you don't have a business, okay? So who were the customers? That is another piece of information that I would love to know. I'm very interested in that piece of information. There must have been a lot. 20 years is a long time. 20 years is a very long time. There's longer than that. There's a lot longer than that, right? Over 20 years is a very long time, right? It wasn't just Ghislaine and Epstein. It was not, right? I don't zip up the back. I'm not stupid, right? Child trafficking, like child porn ring, right? Ghislaine and Epstein, it's not a ring. It's a line. It's just two vertexes, right? A ring is a lot of people. So, I'm willing to bet, right? Now correct me in the comments if I am wrong, that there were a lot more people involved, right? There were a lot more people involved. Now, okay, maybe they weren't in the basement of a certain pizza place performing satanic rituals, right? Because it turns out that place doesn't even have a basement. However, right, this is the real shit. Everyone talks about fucking Pizzagate and all that fucking shit. Okay, then Pizzagate most likely is a big bunch of fucking hoo-ha. This, however, this thing where reporters weren't even allowed into the fucking trial, where for some reason editors of major publications were saying, oh, don't run that. Submit that story and I will remove any unnecessary things that I just feel that are not in the public interest. I think this is heavily in the public interest. I do. I think this is heavily in the public interest. If people are out there preying on children, I believe it is in the public interest for us to know so that we may take precautions in order to prevent it from happening to our own children. I think that is very much in the public interest. However, for some reason, all these really rich people don't want the information of this trial getting out. Why is that? Why do all these really rich, connected people? Why do they not want any of this information coming out? Why? I can't think of why. I'm not that smart, I'm afraid. However, I just find it very, very strange. However, right, Maxwell obviously wants a reduced sentence, right? And despite the things that she has done, okay, I would happily give it to her if she sat in a room and just started singing like a fucking canary and just started saying hum, 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 and just kept going and didn't stop. That, you got one of the little goon squad, right? You got the Fredo. You didn't get the entire Cosa Nostra. Okay? If we could get Fredo to turn on the entire Cosa Nostra, which essentially he kind of did, right? If we could get Fredo to do that, that'd be brilliant. That'd be really, really good. In fact, I think Fredo is asked to do that. I think Fredo wants to do that. But for some reason, the system won't let him. It's really strange. It's fucking weird. Yeah,